match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match. Let's go!
Broken, thankless, push you down, open.
Meh.
Meh.
Let's just get the negatives out of the way.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi looked like a bag of dough.
Ibushi ruined what was a great blood and guts match, in my opinion. The second Ibushi showed up, that whole match just fell apart, in my humble opinion.
And I want everybody to know, we are generally speaking big Kota Ibushi fans.
Very big.
And you can see what almost 2 years away from wrestling really does to somebody.
He's only wrestled twice, and it was 2 nights in GCW in the past 2 years. And like, Kota looked rough. That was the roughest part of that all, was that Kota looked rough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the only negative I have, is the second Kota Ibushi joined, it became 9 men trying to carry a guy who hasn't wrestled in 2 years through a match. It really hindered the blood and guts shit. Up until then, it was leaning towards being better than last year. But last year's, to me, just can't be topped. Oh, and look it.
Oh, no. I'm on a podcast.
He is on the podcast.
Jeremiah, look it. You're cuddling with my new Squirtle.
I'm a real. Oh, ha.
Actually, I want to say something about this, is that he stepped in and he says, "Hey, I'm on the podcast." Now, this man is on many a podcast, but he called this one the podcast. So I'm going to take that to heart.
It's the best podcast in the state of Michigan going right now. I don't want to toot my own horn, but it is.
I don't know. I heard this On a Ladder podcast is coming out.
That we already have our attorneys at Hoochie Daddy and Shorts working on that. And also the On a Porch podcast that Cody has talked about. That is also being taken care of by our attorneys.
He's doing that through a Ring doorbell, so I think that like Amazon's people will take care of that.
But with Jeremiah in the room, we do have something coming up that is going to involve a bunch of people. We're going to have the great Michigan Indie Wrestling Smoke-Off.
Yeah.
We're going to see who has the best lungs in the state, and that will be live streamed probably only on YouTube, because I don't think anywhere else is going to be okay with just as many grown men and women as possible smoking as much weed as humanly possible.
Well, can't we do it on Twitch because we live in a rec state?
Twitch doesn't care if you're in a rec state. Twitch just doesn't want it. That's why when fucking
Twitch don't want that smoke.
Twitch doesn't want a lot of things, which is why we are a few episodes away from being done with Twitch. So make sure you scan that QR code right there next to Jeremiah, and it'll take you to our socials. Of course, him wearing a great t-shirt.
Yeah.
Do you have a proof for your new merchandise?
No, not yet.
Yeah, this is actually.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I have a thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
The kick is something that my roommate brought up to us. Oh,
what's
it's
up,
the
Tommy?
Hoochie Daddy himself. Well, let's do introductions. My name's Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter. To my right, as always,
I am Ethan. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3 on Twitter.
and right below us, but never beneath us, where is his? There it is. It's Jeremiah Goldmain, the boss, at the 24 Karat Lion. You can find us on Twitter at On a Forklift Pod. You can find us at On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. And of course, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. right after Ethan. What show is it this week?
The Drew Carey Show.
Thank you.
That was never on UPN. That was ABC.
I'm fine with that.
They never ran reruns?
No.
Is it on at 8 p.m.? Because, I mean, whatever.
That was like a 7 p.m. ABC show.
Okay. So let's talk let's jump right into the positives of this week. Is that Dominic Mysterio holds singles championship gold right now?
He does. He does.
He does. Thanks to the help of mommy, but Ethan, why are you always so distracted?
Because I'm doing stuff for the show. I'm trying to enhance the show by doing this. So what I was trying to do was
enhance by talking to us.
But I'm trying to bring up a beautiful image here of the Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio holding a title high as the dominant champion in the NXT brand. It is only a matter of time before Dominic Mysterio not only holds the North American belt, but he also holds the NXT championship because Carmelo Hayes does not hold a candle to Dominic Mysterio.
Dirty Dom, come on, it's already taken with Dirty Dango. I don't see Dirty Dango on a television program getting as much views as Dirty Dom right now. So, Dirty Dom it is. But Dominic Mysterio beat Wes Lee with the help of Rhea Ripley to become your new North American champion. And it's a great scene, not just for us, but it seems the ratings agree too, because that shit popped a hard rating for NXT this past Tuesday.
So what, like 3 people?
4.
He said 4.
I was one of them.
I'm pulling it up right now. NXT ratings 7/18/23.
But their shit did like 840 for the main
746,000 viewers according to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics.
What did AEW have this week?
I will pull up the AEW rating.
I'm not going to ask about Raw because I know it's way more than that.
I'm willing to bet the AEW ratings peaked with the MJF Adam Cole shit.
953, which is up 100 and almost 130,000 from the week before. The week before was 825.
But that's because it was a blood and guts
right.
episode. No, that's cool though. Like it's so like if they were below NXT, that would like be alarming.
Yeah. Also, to everyone watching on Twitch, scan that QR code, go over to our YouTube and subscribe to that. We don't have many more episodes left on Twitch.
I think the bigger thing to realize here is that we had almost 2 of what are considered like, so AEW almost hit 1 million viewers. You know, you're 75,000 off of 1 million viewers on that. And that doesn't count all of the extra streaming and that shit. So you have that. You have NXT going 800,000 on NXT. Was it SmackDown last week did 3 million, or was that the week before that it did that?
The week before it did 3 million. That was all the bloodline shit.
Listen, this is good. This is fuck the people that want to do the tribalism shit of AEW is better, WWE is better. Who gives a shit? We're getting good wrestling on television. We're getting good wrestling around here in person. Like wrestling's up. Let's go. This is great.
I know. I love shitty little promotions like FU Wrestling. Little rinky-dink ones.
How dare you?
Like I've said before, FU Wrestling is the PWG of Michigan, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, but they're not like shitty and little. PWG's like little and awesome, and you called me shitty and little.
Exactly.
And I didn't appreciate that, especially coming from a podcast the caliber of which this is, not high. So it's fine. Listen, I've done a whole season of trying to turn this shit around, and it only is good when Russ is here. So I mean, it's fine though.
God damn.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Yeah,
don't ever try to cut with words when you're mad.
Oh no, man, I don't think FU is a shitty little
master.
FU is, in my opinion, the best wrestling promotion in the state of Michigan going right now. There's a few promotions that follow closely. We're excited that we're going to be working with Chaos here soon.
I love them.
Chaos is great. We're not doing Metro Pro on August 19th. I know we said we'd get back to you guys on that. The next show we're going to do for Metro Pro is November 4th. So a lot of time to plan ahead for that one. As for Horror Slam, still probably nothing on that realm.
Let's run down a couple of things. So we've already taken care of NXT. We've talked about Dominic Mysterio bringing the prestige that brand so dearly needs.
Real quick before we move forward, before we move forward, because it has to do with like Dom and them. So WWE obviously moves Judgment Day to NXT / keeping them on Raw to increase ratings for NXT, right?
Yes.
Who the fuck can AEW do that for either of their shows? Because it doesn't really seem like I don't know.
Punk maybe,
but it doesn't because now he's back full time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel like moving him from Collision to Dynamite or Dynamite to Collisions. You know what I mean? I don't feel like they have a. Also, because the first time back within the same week, he appears on both TV shows. You know what I mean? So it's not really.
Are we talking like, because the thing about that was that the Judgment Day were a scheduled appearance, they were announced ahead of time. Do you think that it's still?
No, but now they're gonna be working down there a bit.
Yeah, at least through the Great American Bash is what the reports are saying.
Yeah.
So Dom's gonna be at least North American champion until that point. Which Great American Bash is, I think, the week before SummerSlam. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me see.
So I'm trying to pull. I'm trying to get into the breakdown here, and I'm still not quite able to pull that. I don't have access currently to the WrestleNomics quarter hour sheets that Russ does. Russ actually subscribes to them. If you're a big fan of them, go check them out. WrestleNomics, Patreon, yada yada, all that stuff. But to answer that question, I'm not really sure that there is, because we still don't have like a hard set roster for both places. We've tried things here, we've tried things there. I think a lot of what was hampering AEW recently was the continuation of the Blackpool Combat Club Elite stuff, that they've been tied up with each other for so long that now that that's really over, or it seems like that's over, and now the movement might be on Blackpool going after, if Pac is still part of Death Triangle or whatever him and Takeshita are going for, maybe that's the route that's taking. Maybe the Elite take some time off of television, minus Hangman. Please keep him on.
Well,
with Pac.
No one gets time off television unless their name is Jonathan fucking Moxley. No one gets time off, Ethan. How dare you?
Ethan,
he needs to take that vacation.
How dare you?
Just as a heads up, Ethan, Pac has been announced as the opponent for Claudio Castagnoli for Death Before Dishonor. So with Pac going to Ring of Honor, I can see that Death Triangle probably being a force to be reckoned with in Ring of Honor, considering that the Lucha Bros are your current Ring of Honor tag team champions. And I can see Pac taking the belt off of Claudio after, he just had a devastating match past Wednesday. So a lot can happen over the next week. Kind of makes me want to tune in for Death Before Dishonor, mainly because Athena and Willa Nightingale are looking like they're going to get the main event slot, which would be the first time in history that women have main evented a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
This is true.
And Athena and Willow have done nothing but amazing things for the past couple months to, in my opinion, solidify themselves as the main event of Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor.
So when does Ring of Honor air?
They air on Thursday nights. We're currently airing against them.
Oh, are we really?
Yeah. So let me see.
What
Death
channel?
Before Dishonor 2023 runs tomorrow night.
What channel?
I don't know.
Or is it just internet?
I think it's on the Ring of Honor streaming service. But yeah, pretty stacked card for tomorrow night's show, including, as we've talked about, Claudio versus Pac. We got Samoa Joe versus Dalton Castle for the TV title. Shibata versus Garcia for the Pure Championship. Athena versus Willow for the Women's Championship. And it looks like a fatal four-way for the tag belts, consisting of the Lucha Brothers, the Best Friends, Aussie Open, and Ethan's favorite tag team, The Kingdom. Because we all know Ethan,
I really like Mike Bennett.
Ethan is a massive Matt Taven fan, well known.
I like Matthew Taven.
I really like Mike Bennett. I'm
gonna.
I'm
Matt
going to reserve.
Taven's really
I'm going to
cool.
reserve my comments about Matt Taven. I'm turning over a new leaf.
He doesn't like
Yeah.
Matt Taven.
He's a sneakerhead, and we talked for like an hour and a half.
I shan't be dogging on people.
I
Really
I personally was excited when Matt Taven won the Ring of Honor World Title.
I was
Madison
there.
Square Garden. That
I
was awesome.
there. I was fucking there, and I was so stoked for that. It was awesome. Because guess who nobody thought was winning that fucking
Matt
title?
Taven. I remember sitting in my bedroom watching that while him and the friends were out in the living room partying, and I popped real hard and it came out in the living room. Ethan was like, "What's up?" I was like, "Matt Taven's your Ring of Honor World Champion," and just his face went pale white. He just got real sad, and he was just like, "God damn it."
Can I say something also while we're on this positive thing and we're talking about like Matt Taven winning that, other promotions doing well? Impact is up in the Q3 ratings. They are up 20% year over year from last year in the ratings, or sorry, 19%. The next highest and the only other positive one is SmackDown at 13%. So big kudos to Impact for putting out a fucking great product, which kind of leads me into my next point. Josh Alexander's back.
More importantly than that, Trinity Fatu is your knockouts champion.
No, dog. Leo Rush is your new X Division champion.
Who won the tag belts? Because I know every title changed hands except for the world title.
Hold on. It was God damn it. I can't remember their name.
Now, I don't want to go to impactwrestling.com. They'll take too long. Their website takes too long to load.
It will take too long.
Current champions, Subculture, the Subculture one.
Yeah,
Flash
the
Gordon
NXT UK guys.
Yeah. Kenny King won the Impact Digital Media Championship, which I'm not happy about because that means Joe Hendry is titleless.
Yeah, that's I love Kenny King.
But I love Joe Hendry more.
I'm not so I don't know. Like I love him different. I love him different, and I love him with that title. And if Kenny King were to win a title in a Impact booked by me, I think my man's been there long enough that he could have been a guy to defeat a Shelley.
Yeah.
If you tell the story correctly, but.
And then also MK Ultra, Killer Kelly, and Masha Slamovich defeated the Coven for the Impact Knockouts Championships. So literally every championship, Alex Shelley has the longest reign going in Impact right now at 41 days.
Well, yeah, because everything else just reset.
Yeah, which that they treat their pay-per-views as a general reset. And like they're going to start over. That's why they saved the Josh Alexander bit for him coming out towards the end, because we know we're going to get Josh Alexander versus Alex Shelley, and that should fuck hard.
What a roster sitting there right now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just absolutely fantastic. If you guys are watching this show and you don't watch Impact, go watch Impact. Find a way to watch Impact. It's good stuff.
Also, leaving that show, Kushida is your #1 contender for the X Division Championship, which means we're getting Kushida versus Leo Rush. And that should be a banger.
That very much should be.
Also, if you don't know, we're live on our Facebook page now. You can follow us on Facebook at On a Forklift.
Oh, speaking of people that have appeared on Impact in the past, one Matt Cardona actually just lost his title in AIW to one of the friends of the show, Mr. Isaiah Bronner.
I love Isaiah. A nice big win for a guy who is as big and meaty as
coming back off of injury as well to win that title.
Mm-hmm.
Maya, you're not like, we can't. If I see a rope, you can't do that on camera.
What's up?
You can't. I was gonna say you can't. You just gotta. You can't do that on camera. Like if there was a rope, I was like, it's not worth ending it all, man. It's not.
No, man. No, there
not
was
today.
A fly. There was a fly in my house, and like it was one of those. I've been being annoyed by it for like 3 hours. So like we had to take care of business when we had an op.
That's fair.
Oh, op shit, pop shit, can't stop shit. I understand.
Like that was like, no, like I didn't give a fuck what the fuck was happening. That thing was dying.
You know what? Let's take a moment here because Jeremiah, you weren't on the show last week. You were extremely busy. I want to congratulate you on a wonderful FU show.
Yeah.
Because Oops All Bangers 2 was a banger of a show.
Absolutely fantastic.
That show fucked hard.
And then we also, like, now we can say we are also being joined by your best friends forever tag team bracelet holder, the fucking Venus flytrap.
Yep, one half of the outset. I'm having such a fascinating time watching him try to take out this fly. It's the shadow. It's the shadow in the background that's doing it for me.
It's like multiple flies now.
It's like Shadowbox Theater.
Really mad about this.
It's pretty entertaining to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
What
I'm just gonna ignore it.
No, you're not. This is gonna be like that episode of Breaking Bad where we're spending the whole episode trying to kill this fly.
There's no complaints about it, though. You know, it is what it is.
No, but we got, like with Impact we just talked about, we had a whole new mess of champions coming out of Oops All Bangers 2.
We did.
We got a
I
new.
think every title change hands.
Yep, we have a new People's Champion in DBA. We have a new World Champion in the Great Taiga. New tag team champions in Jeremiah Goldmain and Bathroom Tom, the Outset.
First ever
In a very, very dangerous ladder match. The first one in FU history.
Oh, dog, that shit went hard.
Absolutely.
Heel turns. There was fucking betrayals. There was fucking big guys doing sunset flip power bombs off of ladders.
Oh, dog. Forever Young, man. Almost killed himself.
Yeah. Just to betray his friend in the end.
It's, there's risks that are taken that you look at and you go, why would you do that? And at some point, we're going to learn why he did that. But to this point, it's going to sit there and seep into your brain until the next FU show.
Could very well be at the next FU show where we have another fucking pre-show. I don't know what's going on.
So we are approximately 3 weeks away from... we're not even 3 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away from SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam's right around the corner. I'm going to GCW with Bree the night before.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Either way, so SummerSlam's right around the corner, which leads us into this. We have a whole gamut of stuff. And the reason that I want to talk about this now is we tend to save it till the last minute and then we rush through a lot of the SummerSlam stuff. So I'm going to bring up the SummerSlam card. Let's talk about it a little bit and then see what we also would book, because there are some openings here on this card.
Yes, and we will also, since I forgot it was next week, predictions, boys. Who's taking me on?
Why don't we both take you on?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. I think people get bored watching me beat you guys every time.
Does Bree want to step up next week and come in here and try to get 2 belts?
Because I was gonna say, like, the last time we went at it was probably the most viewed battle for predictions we had. So I mean, to say people got bored of that would just be a blatant lie to feed one's ego. But I mean, if that's where you got to live.
So here, how about this? Ethan, sit it out. You can take it out.
This is how good of a heel I am, Ethan. All right. Like, I don't have to be the champion. I could just tell you how I should be the champion, and then the champion gets mad and calls me out. So that's how you get title shots.
Bree,
you just got to piss off the guy with the belt.
Bree, you're sitting in the chat because, Ethan, you have something you're working on next week anyway, so we won't take time away from you to do that. You know, with the sexiest fucking sound man in the business.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. Dad Hat, if you're in the chat still, let me know if you announced that yet or if you want me to. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, Bree, you, me, Maya, triple threat match, SummerSlam predictions next week.
But what's this other thing?
So we have something coming up that we're doing in conjunction with another channel. And I want them to have the opportunity to announce it first. I don't want to be the person to announce it first.
Fair enough.
We can talk about it off cam.
Yeah.
So anyway, the SummerSlam card. Gentlemen.
Bree's in. She's in. Next week, me, Bree, Maya, in a fucking 3-way.
Okay.
And we're going to do a prediction show.
Christ.
Got it.
My money's still on Bree winning this.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. So SummerSlam.
Man.
God.
Hold on before we
She
continue.
literally beat me by a goddamn point in that fucking. Oh, hey, it's my favorite. It's Ross. I like how he does the. I like how he did the like he joined and then he did the like the zoom in like the gopher, and then he did finger guns. It was really
Listen,
good.
I came in here. I saw your big, beautiful dome next to me, and I said, "Well, I can't look like I have that small of a head. I've got a massive noggin here." So, hello.
We've already talked about the negatives this week, so we're trying to focus on the positives of wrestling right now.
But we will.
All right, bye.
Let's put Russ. Hold on. Let's put Russ on a soapbox. Russ, you have 60 seconds. Give us your opinions.
I have nothing negative to say this week.
Hold on. Where did he go?
Why did we
That's not
zoom
how I
off?
You don't know how to do it like I do. Go ahead.
There we go.
I have nothing negative to say this week. Everything is hunky dory.
We don't believe you. We don't. Look, you can have as much time as you want because we can respond to you, but the it's all on you. We've already talked about how Ibushi did not live up to the expectations.
Now, hold on. See, now I'm gonna upset. I'm gonna get upset. Last night I went into Blood and Guts open-minded, right? And then I did something I've never done before. I called into Busted Open After Dark to talk to Bully Ray because I was like, you know what? I'm listening to all these jamokes talking about how great Blood and Guts was. And I'm like, I thought the show was actually good until the main event. I thought that the opener was good. I thought that Britt Baker getting a squash match was good to reestablish her. I thought that initially I was like, man, why are we doing this MJF dance party? And then I was like, you know what? Fine. I like MJF and I feel like he's elevating Adam Cole to being entertaining. All right, fine. They've built up man. They built up enough equity that I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm fine with it. But Blood and Guts wasn't it. And the people who are like going to war over this thing about it like being awesome, it wasn't. Because at some point shit has to make sense. And Blood and Guts didn't make sense. And I'll tell you when it went off the rails, because it was really fucking early. It's when Jon Moxley came in and did his same boring, tired bullshit shtick that he does every fucking time he comes on TV. He shows up with a fork. And what does he do? And Jeremiah, I would love for you to break this down because I pointed this out. And then some asshole from South Jersey called into the show after I was like done. I was like, I can't believe this guy's complaining about it. You know what happened? Moxley goes in, stabs Omega, stabs Hangman. And guess what happens? As it's happening, you see a blade fall out of Jon Moxley's mouth to pass to, I think, first to Hangman. And then when he's stabbing Omega, you see him fucking hand a blade again, pass it out, pass it down. They cut the camera away because this is what happens every time. And you know what? Two guys in that match are least likely to probably blade? Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. So not only did you ruin the flow of the match by having Fork Face show up and stab away, no blood. Now, I don't know, guys. If it were me and I shanked somebody in the head with a fork, I'm assuming they'd bleed. All right. Now, call me crazy. So that took me out of the match. Okay. And it was stupid. And once again, I'm like, great. I'm going to grind your bones and drink your blood. Great. Fuck off for a while. Go away. Come back in a few months and like reset because this is boring, stupid, and tired. Okay. That was my problem. Kota Ibushi. Every time I've ever seen the guy, he looks like he's chiseled from granite. And I honestly wanted to see Ibushi come out, have an amazing showing. And then I wanted to go turn on Jim Cornette's show later this week. And I wanted to have to listen to him say, you know what? I shit all over this guy. And I still think he's a clown for wrestling a doll. But he looked the part. Except when Ibushi came out, the first thing I thought was, man, he looks like me the day after I eat Taco Bell. And I was like, this isn't it. This isn't right. What happened? And then it's, you get all these people that go, oh, well, it was only his third match in 2 years. Was there no gym? I'm not paid to look like Kota Ibushi. All right. I don't work a profession where I'm supposed to look like Kota Ibushi. But like when the guy is always at this kind of standard and he shows up and he just looks like a random average guy, it doesn't work. When his knees to the face are missing by 6 inches, when he does like a set with Claudio where it looks like they're like going through a dry run of the match, that ain't it. And then the ending of the match was just not great. So, I wanted to like it, but if you gave me that hour or the hour from Collision with FTR versus Bullet Club Gold, I'm taking FTR and Bullet Club Gold 10 times out of 10, and I'm not thinking twice.
No, because right now, if you want to talk about a team that you're tuning in, that you're tuning in to fucking watch Collision for, it's not Punk for me, it's FTR. It's FTR and Blood. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what you're watching in the background.
Dog. Oh, it's me. I'll turn it down.
Is it Futurama?
No, but it's along those lines.
Like, listen, I don't.
No,
like the Disney.
Disenchanted. It's the Matt. The Matt Groening.
I heard Enchanted, and I was thinking,
listen, I like that movie though.
It was Family Guy.
Oh God. No, I didn't want to come on the show and be negative to start, but I mean, this is your fault, Clint. Like, I didn't want to do this, but
I just wanted to get that all out of the way.
We're here,
Reed. We can see you in the chat, bro. It's fine. We're all talking.
Dog.
What happened?
I would say Ricky Starks beating CM Punk was better.
It was.
Because I didn't expect it.
Yeah, and the fact that Ricky cheated to win and then took ripped the trophy from Juice Thunder Liger, just ripped it out of his hands and just like peaced out.
I heard someone say that. I genuinely hope that it's just an indie guy and Juice and Thunder Liger shit, and they didn't just fly this guy out here to get a trophy ripped out of his hands.
Dog,
that actually makes it better.
I really hope they spent all that money, put him up in a 5-star hotel, limousined his ass from hotel to the venue that day. And then, all right, what am I doing? Oh, you're just going to hold this trophy and then you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, to go on that, fucking on Collision, they had a beautiful hour-long 2 out of 3 falls match between FTR and Bullet Club Gold.
I have a question. What are the ratings on Collision, though?
They were like five. I think it was 597 this past week, so it was up. But I think what's going to happen, and I'm like pretty convinced about this, right? The summer is the worst time to have a weekend wrestling show, the worst, right?
The entire year is the worst time.
And once college football kicks up, it's going to be hard. Like, I don't know if they're ever going to pop a huge rating, but I think what you're going to see. And what the quarter hours have shown is they don't see a massive drop off. Like, the people who are watching Collision are in on Collision. They're in from the first segment through the entirety of the show. And that, by the way, includes whatever women's match ends up on that show, which I believe the women's matches on Collision, when they've happened, have been presented better than the ones that have been on Dynamite as well. So what you're seeing is roughly 575, say 550, let's say 550,000 people or so are tuning into that show, but they're sticking with it. Unlike Rampage, where it's like, hey, there's 400,000 people, but by the end, there's like 290 left. Or like, hey, we're starting Dynamite with 800,000 or 850, but by the end, we're at, 690 or 720. Audience retention is important. It's important in anything. It's important in a podcast. It's important in a YouTube channel when you're trying to sell to advertisers. You don't want to see, if you start seeing, hey, we're good for 15 minutes and then there's this drastic drop off, that's a hard sell. But for advertisers, when you're seeing I don't know, say 85%, 90% retention through the first hour and a half of the show, it's good. It's really good. And if you happen to have it where that last quarter hour or the last 2 quarter hours end up going up because people are excited about the main event, it's even better. I think the Collision right now is the best pro wrestling show, bell to bell, start to finish on TV. I think that if there were a way to flip Collision and Dynamite, they would do over 1 million consistently.
Here's your thing, though. Dynamite, when it came out, was the best thing on TV for its first 4 weeks. But like you got to remember, Collision is 4 weeks old. Like I believe they sat down and went, we have 6 weeks worth of TV written, but what happens after that is what the fuck ever. So this is a great start for Collision, but I don't hold it in the regards that you do, saying it's the best weekly. I still say SmackDown right now is the best weekly programming on TV.
See, I gotta disagree with both of y'all because of what happened on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, NXT, right?
Okay.
NXT,
Yeah,
for
like
the
guys,
time
Dirty Dom is the North American champion.
as long as Dirty Dom.
I mean, in fairness, that's a total one-off, though, right? Like,
but until he drops that belt, you know what's going to be viewed right now.
Well, yeah, and it's
like NXT theoretically should have better ratings this upcoming week than the week he won the belt,
for sure.
Because no one thought he was going to win the fucking belt, because no fucking dude comes from the main roster to win belts. They come to just put over talent.
Yeah, but it also shows that Nick Khan's been playing 7-dimensional chess. The whole thing.
Oh my God, yes.
I have caught myself saying this so many times in the past week. I did this whole like big radio rant about like why Philly sports radio, like one of the stations, is totally fucked, and like how we told them 2 or 3 years ago when we met with them that like this is how you fix things, and they didn't do it. Now they're like trying to adjust, and it's a disaster. But like some of this stuff isn't that hard. Okay, like you don't have to take a bump to be able to look at a show and say there's a way to increase the ratings, right? NXT, with Nick Khan having influence, he said, allegedly, reportedly, Nick Khan wanted more of the main roster people to show up on NXT because they're doing another round of TV rights. Well, what's a good way to pop a rating? You have some well-known guys, men and women, pop up on NXT, have programs. You have a Dolph Ziggler show up, kind of opening the door back up again. You have an AJ Styles go down and show up. But in this case, you take the guy who's arguably your biggest heel. I really do think that it's not people hate Dom. I think they think it's fun to boo him, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Send the guy with the nuclear heat to NXT and then have him steal a title from somebody that people are behind. And now all of a sudden, their rating from this past week's episode from a few days ago was almost as big as Dynamite's rating from the last few weeks. And it takes little to no effort. All it takes is just saying, hey, we're going to give the rub to NXT. We're going to send this guy down. We're going to give a shock win. And you're right. I bet next week's NXT should end up, I don't know, as close to 900,000 as it gets, just to see what Dom does.
Next week's NXT is the lead up to Great American Bash, because the following Tuesday will be the Bash, which they already have a stacked roster. I see that if they get Dominic Mysterio on there for a title match, that it easily, like, what is it? It's the 29th. Is there any, like, you two are the sports guys, is there anything big going on in sports on July 29th?
No, there's literally baseball on right now, and nobody
I'll tell you what's going to happen on July 29th. Dominic Mysterio is going to have a title match on NXT, and it's going to pop a 1 million rating for NXT for the first time since, I think, Halloween Havoc during the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably...
Well, you're rolling into it at the right time, too. So Tuesday nights have nothing to contend with. There's no NBA, there's no hockey, there's no nothing. Football does not run on Tuesday nights, except for that one-off Bills game that we got during the COVID season, which 5 o'clock football, is the best. But besides that, they don't run anything on Tuesday nights. NXT's in the best possible spot right now. If you let this go on for, I think, until basically right up to Survivor Series time, because you know that's going to be one of the War Games matches. Here's my War Games match, right? Judgment Day versus whoever. Rhea is in the match with the men.
Just one War Games match for the night.
Yeah.
But here, before we move on to that, I truly believe Dominic Mysterio is needed for this NXT card, because on the card we have a great match in Carmelo Hayes versus Dragunov for the NXT Championship. What up, Mark?
How's it going, Mark? Shout out to Don.
Shout out to Mark.
Reed, we do see you in the comments.
And Mark is the guy who writes the intro song for us for his band Reason 9, Gloomface. Love Mark. But we got Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. That match is going to fuck hard. But the rest of the card, in my opinion, kind of lacks. Like Tiffany Stratton versus Thea Hale in a submission match might be an underrated banger. But Blair Davenport versus Roxanne Perez and Gallus versus the D'Angelo family doesn't.
Okay, don't listen. Let's pump the brakes on that because that is going to be really good. It's not going to be like you're not looking at that with the star power numbers, but if you were to take unnamed team A, unnamed team B, put them together, those two are going to have a really fun match. I think the tag team match is going to be very good. So it's just I don't want to pull that away yet. But Dom is not on Wesley's level in ring stuff, but just everything that's like going on with it is going to make it so good.
Yeah, and Dominic having gold makes things interesting on NXT.
Dominic doesn't need in-ring ability. He has Mammy. Thank you.
I know, but that's why it's the fun part.
So real quick question.
Yeah.
If you break up Mommy and fucking Dom, right? Do either of them continue to skyrocket like they are?
No.
Yes. I think if you execute it right, a Rhea face turn where she's like because the crowd wants to boo Dominic. The way that this happens is Dominic has to turn on Rhea though.
Rhea has to lose the belt by Dominic interference, where Dom's trying to help her on, and he ends up costing her the belt.
And then Rhea kicks his ass. Like Rhea has a pay-per-view match against Dom.
Oh my God, that's your WrestleMania main event. It's Dom versus Rhea.
All right, they wouldn't do that for the main event, but
shut up. Night one main event.
No, dude, I'm like, no, hold on, because like this is a little bit easier. This is a little bit easier for me to fantasy book, right?
I know, I see it's Hinkle.
What up, Jeff?
The two news guys.
So I work with a guy named Jeff. He previously worked with Ethan, and for many of years, Ethan referred to him as the new guy.
No. I was referred to as the new guy.
Okay. So then I called Jeff new guy at work.
Got it. Okay. I like to think about what WrestleMania is going to look like because they're going to give it Philly flair. It has to make sense because it's in Philly, right?
Mm-hmm.
We throw batteries at Santa Claus.
I'm going to jump through this screen. I might get in my car and drive to Michigan. All right. I don't have time for this. All right. First of all, it was batteries at JD Drew and it was snowballs at Santa, but it wasn't really Santa. It wasn't the real Santa. It was a drunk guy in a Santa costume.
Philly Santa.
Who they pull. Maybe. He deserved it. He was a drunk, whatever.
He's definitely. Hold on one second. We got a comment. He's definitely the most over heel they've had in years. Major Heat. I'm going to say that. Assume that's sure. The second most watched WWE, second only to Bloodline. Yeah. So right now, that's the plan. I believe is that Judgment Day is going to replace the Bloodline when the Bloodline shit is done.
They should at least. There was a little bit of a fear. This is the whole thing with like planting seeds of dissension that I don't like between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Like, could you envision a scenario where now that Finn, attacked Seth and all that and wants the title match, like, could we see a moment where Balor and Rollins go to like legit war with each other? And I don't even think I don't think it matters. Like if Balor wins, I think either way, you could do the thing where Priest cashes in on either, right? Like he takes the title off of Finn, who finally got back on, back to the mountaintop. And like, now all of a sudden it's holy shit. Like Priest was so like, he blew up that part of the Judgment Day. Or do you tell the story? And I think what's actually the better story and keeps the Judgment Day together is Seth wins, Priest cashes in on a beaten to hell Seth Rollins, wins the title. And then Balor's like, I did all of this work. You didn't earn this. And Priest goes, I made the most of my opportunity. And that's kind of like boiling. It's simmering under the surface. And you could take 6 months of like keeping Judgment Day together, having them take the place of the Bloodline, but also like legitimate problems. And then you get to Mania, or maybe before Mania, and you have Priest versus Balor blow off. I like there could be something cool there. I like both of those guys. So
I think that when the Judgment Day does implode, you need to keep Dom and Rhea together, at least for the time being, because they're definitely your most over thing in WWE right now. Now that the Bloodline is kind of fizzling out, and we're essentially getting the blow off to the Bloodline feud at SummerSlam, like, you got to keep these guys together till at least Mania.
Dog, I want Damian to come out, and it looks like the shitty thing, and he helps Finn Balor win it. Yep, that's what I want, because I want more deep shit, because we can go deeper now. Bloodline has been a 3-year storyline.
Mm-hmm.
What's that creative muscle?
Ooh, how about this fuckery? Seth beats Finn.
Damian cashes in on Rhea.
Yep, that's it.
Dog, how did we miss that?
So what if, like, Finn gets in Damian's mind, and, like, after SummerSlam, like, Seth beats Finn, but afterwards Damian comes out and just whoops the ever-loving fuck out of Seth and hands his briefcase over to Finn to cash in.
Ooh.
And Finn cashes in and wins the belt. And then, you got a few months left of Gunther's title reign, and then Damian Priest is the one that dethrones Gunther.
I don't like that.
I need you to say I need you to say his name right.
Gunther.
I don't like that one, just because I feel like it undoes what winning Money in the Bank theoretically does for Damian Priest, as long as it gets cashed right.
Or Finn snaps and challenges Damian Priest for the contract. He's just like, I need this fucking Damian, and just blah, blah, blah. I don't know. There's a million different ways they can go with the Judgment Day at this point. But right now, Dirty Dom is champ, along with Rhea. They're the most powerful couple in wrestling today.
It's the mid card of the mid card show. And I love how he wins it, and we're like, they're the fucking prom king and queen.
There's a meme of it's like a sad looking it's a sad looking chair in the corner of a hotel room. And this like sad chair in the hotel room, it says the Buddy Matthews chair.
Oh, the cup chair.
Poor Buddy, man. Like,
poor Buddy. Fuck that.
Because public perception, that there are like, he's getting trolled by a bunch of like, neck bearded pillow. Never mind. I'm gonna be
Russ,
careful.
hear me out.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
Oh no. Internet trolls are leaving me mean comments, yet I actually get to go home to Rhea Ripley every night. Oh darn! How will I ever get over a few neck beards?
I know. That's the thing. Though. He's already been through this. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, you lost Alexa Bliss." Yeah, and then he upgraded. Like,
wow,
fuck.
I don't feel like at the time though it was an upgrade. Like Rhea Ripley wasn't at her full potential yet. Alexa Bliss, in fact, was that flavor of the month at that time.
Yeah, and on this point, Buddy trolls himself on Twitter about the Rhea shit. Mm-hmm. So I don't really think that guy has like any care in the world about this.
No.
But he seems like a good dude. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
I don't see the only thing that he got injured though. I think as long as Priest doesn't get injured.
Hold on. Recant that statement. They thought he got injured.
Yeah, well, okay. So the perception was that Mr. Kennedy had gotten injured originally. And then they changed the plan for it after a second opinion once they've already moved on in the storyline, because you have right then was the time to move on. They realized he wasn't. So I think it'll be a little different. Also, this idea that he can't be a champion because he's in his 40s, we're already seeing this with LA Knight, where people are like, oh, he's too old to do it. Dude, all these guys are in their 40s. Brock has been in his 40s. Bobby Lashley's 46. LA Knight's in his 40s. AJ Styles is in his 40s. Edge is in his 40s. Taker was old. Like, I think it's at that point where like 50 is the new 40. So you're getting to a point where these guys are hitting their prime at 36 to 46 instead of earlier in their lives. I mean, look at this. The first episode of Monday Nitro, Hogan was 42. He was 42, and that was before the fucking NWO ever happened.
LA, LA Knight is going to win that United States Championship at fucking SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That is the only thing that is going to happen for sure. Jay could possibly win the Universal Championship or the WWE Universal Championship. That's an actual possibility to me. Any championship could change hands with the exception of Rhea Ripley. But the one goddamn thing I'm sure of is that LA Knight will be United States champion by the end of SummerSlam.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
It's the place to do it, too.
Yeah.
My nuts keep sticking to my thigh.
I think the Detroit crowd is the right place to do that with him.
Oh, Ethan, this is huge news because you know what was a year ago today?
Oh, God. Was this the what?
The fan broke.
Oh.
We finally replaced it today.
Look at that. Now you have a black one.
Yeah, I always wanted a black one.
I just had a really,
Oh.
Adam 22. I don't know who Adam 22 is, but boy, did I find out on Twitter. I looked at the trending topics. It was a very sad day. It was a very, very sad thing I came across. And I want my life back. I just want my time back.
I can't tell if this is a real thing.
It's a real thing. I still don't know who he is, but I know what happened.
You said
now
Twitter?
Huh?
You said on Twitter?
Yeah, you didn't see what happened? Never. I don't suggest people looking it up. I don't suggest.
By the way, Don, no, thank you for everybody that's been in the comment section. Thank you for this because it's conversation like this that drives the show, and it's really fun.
Right.
It gets really fun for us when we do have conversation like this, and we're able to take these topics and run with them, things like that. I mean, right now the SummerSlam card, while Clint's looking up for this stuff.
Clint's gonna need a few minutes.
Right. We've got Cody Rhodes versus Lesnar. Fuck the SummerSlam. Don, we're going to talk about your stuff. Okay. So Brock, Edge, Dave. So that's the thing, though. Build these people to do that point. Like, so I guess where I'm at is sports and sports medicine has come so far that, like, when Arn retired the first time, when he retired, it was 96 and he was 37 when he retired.
Arn looks exactly the same as he did when he was showing up on Nitro.
Well, that's my thing, though. So, like,
it's crazy.
Look at a guy. So, like, look at that 37 as compared to Damian Priest, who is in his 40s. AJ Styles looks great, short of the fact that he has the beard because he's starting to get like the turkey giblet going on. Like, dude, it's why I have it. I have no fucking chin. My chin connects to my neck. That's why I have a beard. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm just at that point where, like, everything has increased. So, like, the technology and the medicine and all of that stuff has improved so much that people are able to do a lot more with their lives a lot later into their life.
Ethan, pause. Fuck you. Fuck you. And everything about you.
Oh, that's
okay.
Hurtful.
We're back.
That's so hurtful. Okay, but now you understand why I was laughing when you said I wanted a black one. Okay, so anyway, I can't. I think I'm just gonna go for the night.
Oh, good Lord. I thought black was a slimming color.
I'm going to go kiss my girlfriend and tell her I love her. Okay.
Hey, really quickly while he's gone. Riho.
Yeah.
Can we have a no,
yeah, so what are we talking about?
Maki Ito.
I love Maki.
I will kill you.
This is the wrong podcast to shit talk Maki Ito on.
Yeah. No, she's great.
She's the best.
Do you want to hold on? Jeremiah, you have a whole bit. I don't know if you want to spoil that or if you want to save that in case it ever happens.
For which thing?
My
dream match.
Yeah.
I have planned out like all the way down to the like entrances to the finish. Like, yeah, no, I'll save that.
The one
it's gonna happen.
the one you totally only spent 30 seconds thinking about.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
in that 30 seconds, I literally it's money, dog. Like, no, that is being manifested. Like, so like we're doing that. Like, no, can't spoil details. And Russ will be there, front row.
So I guess I'm at the point with this.
Yo, Donald has a lot to say.
So Donald's super cool. He's really knowledgeable. He's front row at a lot of the local indie shows. He's a huge deathmatch ICW, XICW, the biggest Tommy Vendetta fan you'll find in the world. And it's not a bad point, but I don't think that other than this Roman thing, everybody's going to look like a transitional champion from this point
Put it
on.
back up. I couldn't read it all because it was
sorry about
paragraph.
that.
Yeah, no, you're good. Okay, Brock Edge, who they started doing it in their 20s with. AJ has said this is his last contract as well.
You don't have to build it. You don't. But the thing is, you don't have to build the guy to the point of a Brock or an Edge. You know. And by the way, never mind. I'm not going to be negative. I saw the name Edge. I'm not going to be negative, even though not a great run here for Edge. Lost that Edge. You can let LA Knight go on a run, and like it doesn't change anything at all.
You're gonna give Russ a fucking aneurysm.
Well, so like my thing is, man, right? Like when it comes to like Donald's comment a little bit, like I don't know, like not every champion that gets turned, not every person that gets turned into champion has to be the historic like Hulk Hogan run or you know what I mean, something a legend. Sometimes it's just what the fans want, and like sometimes you got to give the fans that favor, dog. Like it's just how it goes. It ain't like you don't come out of the womb like, oh man, this guy's a 10 times champion at birth. Like you have to get one to get there.
Dallas Page didn't start wrestling until he was what, 38?
Yeah, but he wasn't on that big run until he was in his 40s.
Yeah, like he wasn't a WCW champion until his 40s. Like that's what we're saying is it doesn't matter what your fucking age is. If you got the talent, the athleticism, the charisma, to quote RuPaul here, if you got the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, you can go fucking anywhere you want at any age.
Dog,
PCO is on the best run of his life in his 50s.
He's not
PCO is the reason why in my 30s I was like, I can do this. I was like, man, that guy's in his fucking 40s.
So what do we consider as a transitional champion? I think that's the bigger question here is what's the definition of a transitional champion? Because
you can make
the Miz between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley.
Realistically, Iron Sheik.
Yep.
Well, okay, so the Sheiky baby though is a little different.
No, he's a transitional champion. I'll fight you.
But
I'll fight you right now.
He's the most important transitional champion.
Yeah, but he's still a transitional champion. The point of a transitional champion is to get a belt onto somebody. All right, so if a face is holding the belt, like, and you want to get it onto a new face without doing that awkward face versus face match, somebody has to take it, namely a heel. Someone to be a transitional host of said belt till we can get it onto new babyface.
But I'm thinking, like, what is the point? Where are we at?
Why did we ask what it is if we get the answer and then we just move the goalpost?
My question wasn't what is a transitional champion. I get that. What's a time frame where you're considered at that? Is there something that's hampered by a time frame?
There's no such thing as like a time frame on a transitional champion. Like in my opinion, Wardlow was a transitional champion.
Let's not talk about the TNT championship because it's the transitional championship. That's all it fucking is.
Give me an example or what constitutes a transitional champion, and then I give you one, and you go, no, you can't say that one.
Dad and dad are fighting again.
Like you can't do that. Ready. Like a transitional champion can be the Big Show. Like when he won it at Survivor Series 1997, he held the belt for 50.
Daniel Bryan was a transitional champion. Oh man, he literally won the belt for like 10 seconds.
It doesn't matter if you spell it out for us. It doesn't fucking matter.
No, I'm just saying that's what the TNT belt is.
Well, you can't say when I give you
John Moxley was a transitional champion.
Yes, Moxley was a transitional champion.
He got squashed. Don't let us not forget, he squashed Punk and then a few days later lost the belt.
CM
Hold
Punk
on.
was a transitional champion because he decided to open his mouth after that.
Pause. Time out. Here's where we can say that the goalposts maybe do move. Okay. And this is just in general. You can make the case that what WWE has chosen to do by doing these super long title runs is going to fundamentally alter what we view as a transitional champion. In the past, you would look at a guy who holds the belt for a quarter of a year and you'd say, you know what, he had a good reign. And if he remains in the picture, you don't think of that as a transitional champion. But right now, because you're looking at Roman is how long into this? He's 1,000+ days, right? So he's almost, did he get to 3 years yet? Or he's close to 3 years?
Close.
Exactly.
3 years this September.
When you have that, anything else is going to feel transitional. Seth Rollins wins the World Heavyweight Championship, right? This like fake belt that they created because they wanted to get Roman higher up in the all-time books, right? If Seth loses in anything less than a year, somebody's going to say he's probably a transitional champion. If he holds the belt for a year, then you say, all right, why do we have two guys holding a belt for more than a year at a time? Gunter at the same time going on this long thing because clearly they want to put him in over the honky tonk man, which is fine because they think that having somebody with a title run who's more current that people can kind of like recalibrate, cool. But the point remains, when you have this Roman run, anything is going to feel transitional. And by the way,
excuse me, when you have this Roman reign.
Thank you.
No, this Roman run. When this is happening, like whoever the least lucky person is whoever takes the belts off of Roman. Because no matter what they do, they will not live up to this. This is akin to replacing a legend in TV, in radio, in whatever. You don't want to be the person to replace it. It's a very cool big pop on the first night, but guess what happens after that? You then have to go out and fill their shoes and do it all over again. There is not a single person in that company right now who can do it. There's none.
Nope.
Nobody. Nada.
Ooh, unpopular opinion. Kofi Kingston was a transitional champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unpopular. I think it's cemented by how he got rid of the championship.
But also to add the Russ
cemented that.
I was gonna say to add to Russ's point though too. So like the problem like with like what's a transitional champion, like you know what I mean? It also like 10 years down the line can dictate if something 10 years ago was transitional based on if somebody reached stardom off, you know what I mean? Like it's so crazy how it actually works.
Like I can't recall a single Dolph Ziggler title reign at all that wasn't transitional.
Because they were literally just meant to get the belt off of A to get it onto B. Like
and even instance was for him to lose the belt to give it back to the same person that had it, just to pad Dolph Ziggler's title runs. Like that was it.
It's also important to point out that short is not the same as transitional, right? Not every short reign is a transitional reign.
Jeff Hardy, for example.
I was looking at Finn Balor, right? Because Finn Balor wins the Universal Championship and then has to relinquish it the next night because he's hurt. Right? Like if you were looking at, I'm just saying, if you were looking in the record books and you're like shortest reigns, you'd be like, oh, was he a transitional champion? If you don't know the context, it's like, well, no, that was an injury. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be the shortest or whatever. It's important. It's an important note.
So like the Rey Mysterio bit, I don't think that was one of those ones that was considered transitional because it was literally a night. It was that thing. And the Finn, I don't think counts on that one either because there was no one to begin with. No one had the title, so there was no one to transition it to. Like you're putting it on somebody.
Yeah, and I would say like any Money in the Bank winner could be considered a transitional champion because most of them won the belt in your cases of like your Jack Swagger, your Dolph Ziggler, your fucking Edge, the first Money in the Bank cash in. He lost the belt only defending it once against Ric Flair on Raw. He lost the belt after 3 weeks.
So the best cash in is still the best champion of that set as well.
Yeah, I would still stand behind that, like, because Seth Rollins and Carmella are the only two off the top of my head that had lengthy title runs. Like CM Punk cashed in both times. One time had an amazing feud with Jeff Hardy. The other time was just holding it for Undertaker to come back.
Mhm.
So, it's a transitional champion it could be months, like the Iron Sheik thing. RVD. Well, RVD, he fucked
RVD's wasn't transitional. RVD's was recreational.
up. Yeah.
Fuck.
That was a good one.
Oh,
But yeah, like going back to the Iron Sheik, yeah, he held it for 28 days. But you got to remember, back in the day, 28 days is one show. So he won that belt and then lost it the very next show. So like, there's probably been like at least even a dozen transitional champions this year alone. I would say even we talked about TNA earlier, Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin held that belt. He didn't really defend it all that much, and he dropped it in the first pay-per-view he could to fucking Leo Rush. I would consider Chris Sabin a transitional champion. Winning the championship only to have that big thing that the Motor City Machine Guns held both belts at the end of the night.
Oh, I was so hopeful.
So I wouldn't say Sabin was a transitional champion because I believe the moment was to create the Guns holding the belts. Like that was the star moment, was to have that. So like, you know what I mean? Like, is that all the reigns for? Yes. But that was the purpose of that.
Okay.
Hey, can I hijack the show really quickly?
Absolutely.
I meant to show you something. So my mother-in-law, a couple weeks ago, she was at an Ollie's. I don't know if they have an Ollie's where you guys are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she sends me a thing and she goes, "I feel like you need this." And I'd never seen this. Have you guys seen this?
We own that. We own it.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to figure out what this is. I tried to understand
I know how
how
to play
this
it.
works.
We played
And really?
Yeah.
Is it hard?
No.
That's what she said. Okay. Then we might have to like stay on after the show, and because I'm like,
We actually played it. It's a blast.
I'm genuinely, because I'm like, you know what? My kids love card games. And I'm like, I don't know. Can my kids figure out how to do this? By the way, they also they like to call it WWE Dynamite. They like to yell it because they see commercials for SmackDown, but they know me saying every Wednesday to my wife, like first thing in the morning, "It's Wednesday night." You know what that means. So anyway,
So
we also have this that we have not played yet.
Was ist das?
it's a
So
GM.
it's the
card
Pro
game.
Wrestling Promoter card
Ooh.
game.
I like it.
I want to play that.
We should play it. We should play it on the stream.
Yeah, Sheik, the first
Yeah.
one,
Yeah, Sheik.
the OG transitional champion.
MJF.
I had an idea.
You're not wrong about that.
I had an idea for us because it's the first time the four of us have been together for a minute. And Ethan and I did a Sporkle last week, which we failed miserably at. And we were talking.
Your mother.
We did what was it? It was SummerSlam kickoff matches. And
All right, let's do it. Let's go. Sporkle. Let's do some Sporkle stuff. Let's go.
So I have up right now every WWE champion in history.
Good. Let's go.
Did we do
All right.
this one before?
I don't think we've done this one before.
No, we
Let's
did
go.
we've done WrestleMania main events, we've done title matches, we've done a bunch of stuff. But
How many
haven't
are
done-
there? How many champions are there?
There's 54. All right.
That can't
Remember
be
how
right.
we do this with us? It goes
We
down
have
the
one.
line. So me, Ethan, Jeremiah, Russ. Everyone say
Yeah.
one name at a time.
We
got
love the
this.
comment section, but sorry guys.
Wait, there's
four
only
of us.
54
Yep,
Yeah.
there's
That
only been
can't be right.
54 champions.
That is
Well,
right.
what? Yeah, what? Yeah,
all
what-
time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is
No.
WWE, right?
Yeah. So Donald,
Yeah.
we cover everything. It's just that, this week there was a lot of news on the Fed and all that shit. We covered a lot of indie wrestling last week, especially in the Michigan area.
Donald, who do you want us to talk about? Drop that in the comments below. Let's know.
Sergeant
let's
Slaughter was a transitional champion.
Ooh, Sergeant Slaughter also really doesn't like Lacey Evans, allegedly.
Allegedly. You guys ready? 8 minutes on the
Allegedly.
clock. And go. I'll just start it off easy. Hulk Hogan. Ethan.
Bruno.
Good one. Good one.
2 M's.
Oh,
2
boy.
M's.
There goes some of our time.
There we go. Maya.
Pedro
Morales.
Yeah.
How do you
Morales.
spell Morales?
Morales.
M-O-R-A.
Thank you. Russ.
What? Stone Cold Steve Austin, what? What?
The Rock. Ethan.
Tito.
Not Ortiz.
Oh, no. Am I wrong? No, I'm wrong. Never mind.
Yeah, you're wrong.
By God.
Do you want
Jeremiah.
another one? Undertaker.
No, Jeremiah next.
Oh, okay.
Bobbert Backlund.
L-U-N.
Oh, L-U-N.
We shouldn't have him be the one typing.
No.
Russ.
The man who takes you under.
I
I'll go
still
with-
Ethan.
I'll go with Kane.
Wow.
Juan Cena. John Cena.
Diesel.
This is a good one.
Russ.
Yes, like I said, not Kevin Nash.
Dolphy.
Diesel.
He has never been WWE champion.
Only world
did it?
heavyweight champion.
Yep.
Oh, they're
World
the same
heavyweight.
thing.
It's
AJ
not.
Styles.
It's
All
not.
right. Ethan.
Yes.
Randall Keith Orton.
Wow.
Jeremiah.
Christopher Jericho.
Mankind.
Oh, so we got Macho Man out of that too.
Well, I gave you 2 for 1.
Me.
That works.
CM Punk.
Sergeant
Who's that?
Slaughter.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yeah, the best.
Goldberg? Goldberg won it, didn't he?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
It was
won
the
the
world
Universal.
heavyweight. This is horseshit.
Fuck.
Horseshit.
Shawn Michaels.
Papa Trips.
Ah.
Brock Lesnar.
Roman Reigns.
Jinder Mahal.
Big E Langston.
Okay.
Kofi.
Russ.
Seth Rollins.
Dean Ambrose.
Edge. He didn't win many WWEs, but he won a few.
That's on me. Fuck. Wow, I am blanking. That's not good.
You can do it. Or you can say pass and just move it on to Russ.
Yeah, I'll just pass. I don't want to keep
Did
wasting
Bobbert
our time.
Lashley win one? Bobbert Lashley?
Did.
Yep. And so did Drew McIntyre.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at some of these old ones and I'm trying to. Oh, Bret Hart. I hate that one, but
Wow. He hates Bret Hart.
Owen's better by far. British Bulldog's better too.
That's like Canadian racist.
What was that?
Ray.
Ray run the world, didn't he?
On Mysterio.
Oh, he did. Oh, yeah, that's
No,
right.
he won it. He won it after the CM Punk thing.
It was. I'm thinking of 06. I'm thinking of
RV was RVD?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was
The
it
Miz.
One Night Stand?
oh God, 2000. Did Bray Wyatt ever win that, or was that just the Universal?
He won it.
Whoa. Look at that, will ya?
Jeremiah.
Big.
3.5 minutes left.
I said Big Show. Why didn't you type?
Oh
it?
no,
Big
because
Show.
you froze.
Dan-
Buddy Rogers.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Oh,
Wait,
sorry.
wait.
Go ahead.
What
Yeah.
about Canyon? What about me? What about Canyon? No, Brian, Daniel Bryan.
Buddy Rogers.
Was 2011? Was that Sheamus or Del Rio?
Del
Sheamus.
Rio or Sheamus.
Just try one of them.
Do Del
I'll take
Rio.
the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
Russ.
Russ, you're up.
Wow. Well, I didn't want to go that fast.
Well, you're up because I just took Ethan's
well,
other
shut the
one.
fuck up. Did Benoit win? Chris Benoit?
No.
Okay.
No, he was just world heavyweight.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Did
Go ahead.
Eddie?
Yes, because they were the opposite champs.
That was it. Okay.
2004. Oh, JBL.
The one we always forget, Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Never had a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer.
Nope. Jeremiah.
Oh, I've got one.
Pass.
Jack Swagger. Didn't Jack Swagger win one?
No, he won
No,
the
it's
World
heavy.
Heavyweight Championship.
I'll tell you, this is horseshit. They're the same thing. Same.
The Iron Sheik.
Yokozuna.
Yo-Yo Ma.
Who took it off
Who's
Taker in
1996?
I know who it is. It's not. It didn't come off a Taker. Can I say it?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
It's Ric Flair at the Rumble.
Yeah.
And you know who else? Sid
Oh.
Vicious. Sid.
Oh, there you go.
We got 7 names left.
2008.
What year
is
is
that Jeff
that?
Hardy? Or was that the heavyweight?
That is Jeff Hardy.
2009.
Who had a bullshit nothing reign.
I'm.
It was nobody in TLC.
Batista? No. Was it Batista?
No, he won the World
Yes!
Yes!
Whoa! Okay.
All right. 5
Was it-
names left.
Was it Volkov?
Or go with Koloff.
Yeah, because it has
Go
to
with
be
Koloff.
Koloff.
because after Pedro, it has to.
All right. Hold on. Fucking
Was
Ultimate Warrior.
Was Ivan Putski,
Ivan.
right? Yeah, try Ivan.
How do you spell Putski?
I don't know, Putzi or P
Andre.
Yeah.
Oh,
ZKI.
yeah. Okay, 2 names.
Fuck, those are gonna be the worst.
Because it's who did Bob take? God damn it, dog.
Who
So
carried? Who
literally,
had the belt forever? The 4 fucking years.
well, that's Bruno San
It was
Martino.
Bruno.
No,
Bruno
no,
Schwarber.
we
There's
got
another
Bruno.
4-year spot here.
20 seconds.
I'm very happy with how we did.
Yeah, but we should have gotten the last 2.
Those are going to slap us right in the face.
I hate my life.
Let's see. Does anyone have? No.
Ivan
Mabel.
Putski wasn't. There's probably another Russian, right? Kola. It's gonna be another Russian.
2, 1.
Stan
no!
Stasiak,
Oh, Billy Graham.
Superstar Billy
Superstar
Graham.
Billy Graham.
Well, we wouldn't have gotten Stasiak, but Billy Graham maybe we should have gotten. But that's not that bad.
I think Stasiak was a transitional champion too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So from how old is it? What year were you guys born?
87.
91.
All right.
What's your favorite color and your first pet's name and the make and model of your car?
First off, joke's on you. I forget my password on a daily basis. So I'm always hitting forget password and changing a new one.
Joke's on you.
Donald had it.
I use all of Ethan's login information.
I got a harder one for us, boys. How about
Yeah, but why
WCW
is this-
World Heavyweight Champion?
Oh, we got this. This is fine.
Oh yeah, no, this is easy because it's only back until 90.
This is 15 minutes.
It's
Go.
only into 90.
Go.
It
Go.
91 to
Hold on.
2000, but there's 10 years.
Hit go. Hit go.
Okay.
So
Go.
start.
Vince Russo.
Damn it! That was mine.
Goldberg.
David Arquette.
David Arquette. David
I said
Arquette.
it first. All right, I'm out.
Sting.
T.
Sting.
Sting.
Vader.
Ric Flair. Hulky Hogan.
Hold on.
Ruick.
Goldberg.
Hogan.
I got Goldberg on there already.
Kevin Nash.
Scott Steiner.
Booker T.
I got Booker T on
He's
there.
already got Booker
He's
T.
in there like 7 times.
Kurt Angle. The Rock.
No, it's that. No.
It is W. They
Steve
won-
Austin.
Oh, wow.
Steve Austin.
Oh,
Didn't he win
that's
it in
right.
01?
Yeah, Stone Cold did.
No, Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah,
Jericho.
you're right.
Chris Benoit.
Okay. Guerrero. Did Eddie? Did Eddie
No.
ever win it?
No, Benoit was the only Radicals to win the championship.
Rey
down there
Mysterio
other
did,
than-
didn't he?
Because
Didn't
Jericho won it
Mysterio-
after it was WCW.
It was after.
WWE.
Okay.
Randy Savage. Okay.
Yeah, Savage won it. DDP.
All right, go through
The Giant.
Okay, yeah,
We're at 51 out of 62, boys.
we're doing a good job.
I thought we said this was
Go
going to
back
be
in
hard.
your NWO bucket a second.
Who is okay? So
Scott Hall never
91 is
did.
Luger. Or no, so no
Lex
one,
Luger.
Luger's probably one of them.
Because he celebrated
Luger.
and they washed the belt clean.
yeah.
1992.
Who do we have left?
Didn't Sid Vicious win it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sid Justice.
Did
Did we type in Sid or no?
Oh.
Did old concussion brain ever
Jeff
win?
Jarrett.
Oh, Jeff Jarrett, great.
Bret Hart.
Well, we're
Yeah,
almost done.
dog, that, we have 3
Who
left.
would have
Oh, we
won
have
it
one left.
All right, who
won
would
the
have won
belt
it
in 1992?
early 90s?
Who took it off of Big Van Vader? Was it no, he didn't, did he? No, Cactus Jack never did, right?
No.
Okay,
Funker?
thank you.
No.
Fuck. Okay.
Hold
So
on.
Oh, Ron Simmons, you dummies! Ron
Yep,
Simmons.
we
Yep.
did it, boys.
That was awesome. We
Wow.
did that. Hold on. That was a 15-minute time limit.
We did it in
We did that in 2 minutes.
seconds.
That took 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Clint was getting ready before he hit start. I know for a fact he was going to go, well, guys, the show has to end at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And this is going to take us 4 minutes past. Blah, 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 blah. Because he didn't have faith in us. And you know what? That's exactly why you don't listen to people who don't have faith in you, because you do great things. Great people do great things. And I'm really proud. So everybody put them up. Put them up. Jeremiah, put it down. Oh, we got to go this way now.
Nope.
Oh, here we go. To the middle.
Scissor. Hands down, our most impressive sporkle performance of all time.
That
That's
made me
great.
so happy because it's like you always go, I was a bigger fan of WCW, and then a test like that happens, and it's like, no, I told you I was.
Yes.
Let me see. Oh, Vader into Vader. Oh, yeah, no.
We got a few
Ron
minutes left of
Simmons.
the show, guys. Do you guys have any projects coming up that you want to plug?
Man, no, not really. Got a dentist appointment next week.
David Arquette was.
It was. David Arquette was.
It was. We
That was the
we
second
typed
name
him
we
in
said.
before we got to say it. Like he was,
Listen,
I think we
you
did
know
Vince-
we're
we
real
did Vince
WCW
Russo.
fans because we said Vince Russo and David Arquette.
Yeah.
It was 1
I'm
and 2.
cutting that bit, and I'm just gonna throw that up on our YouTube page as the most impressive sporkle performance of all time.
Yep, that was great.
that's short enough to be a reel.
It is.
Almost. We can put that one up
Almost.
on TikTok.
We can put it on
Hang
TikTok.
up on
yeah.
TikTok.
Oh god.
So in
I love
fairness, though, there was not 62 champions because Sting's name popped up. on
Yeah,
there.
it's 62 championship reigns, but like that
I
was something, man. Like
I
that
typed
was
in
actually.
Ric Flair's name 62 times, and that
I'm
was
really
the
impressed.
answer.
Jeff Jarrett popped in there 5 times. I'm
Yeah.
really impressed. I think that was a really good job. I think we should all feel really good about it. I think that at some point in the not too distant future, we should do another WCW championship reign. Didn't? Oh,
No,
you know
we
what?
should do.
It
we
was-
should
it
do the US or the TV title.
I was gonna say the hardcore title. Do you remember when WCW had a hardcore title? Because that
I
was
do
something.
because Mike Awesome, the fat
That
chick
chick
killer,
Thriller.
Yep.
was Thriller. My bad. Yeah, the fat chick Thriller was a thing,
He
and
may have been a
for
killer,
some
but we
reason,
never
Ernest the
touched
Cat Miller was a hardcore wrestling icon.
Yo, really quick. I swear this has been lost to time.
And Glacier.
Goldberg squashed Ernest the Cat Miller on, I
Yeah.
think, Thunder one time. And Ernest came out in these
What up,
red
Will?
shoes
Yeah, he
and
did.
got speared out of
Out
the
of
red
them.
shoes. I have never been able to find that clip. And I know it has to be somewhere in the interwebs.
I
but
saw
like-
it live, like on Thunder.
Yes, it was on. And he
Because then they
speared
played
him,
it. They
and the
played
red
it the
shoes went
next
flying
Monday
off.
too.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like
Yep.
it was huge because they
Yep.
just went foosh.
But I've never been able to find it. I know that I could probably go on Peacock and I could but like that was an amazing. When I think of like all-time squash matches, I think of that one because the red shoes flew off. Anyway,
That's gonna about do it for us tonight, everyone. We appreciate everyone popping in. As always, my name is Quentin Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter. To my right,
I'm Ethan. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3 on Twitter.
and beneath us but never below us, or below us but never beneath us, I'm high. It is Jeremiah Goldmain, the boss at 24 Karat Lion on Twitter. We've moved some things around. Russell Joy, you can find him at Joy on Broad on Twitter, and It's Just Wrestling on YouTube.
That's right.
You can find us at On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on a Forklift Wrestling Pod on Twitter, and On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. If you're following us on Twitch, we got like 4 more episodes on here, and we're gone forever like Aaron Hernandez. So go follow us on YouTube. And Thursday nights at 9 p.m. on UPN.
And as always, we love you, Judy.
We love you, Judy. Oh, yeah, to add to that, it's up to $40. We don't know what's going on with the Ethan Table Fund, but I have also thrown a Jeter into the mix. So you also get that.
Derek Jeter.
Love you guys.
Putting Ethan through a table is becoming like the Mega Millions.
Yeah.
Wait, we have 2 minutes left. You can't don't cut the people short. They're here for a full hour and a half. What is happening here?
The second you show up on time for an hour and a half show is the time we run all the way to an hour and a half.
I'm upset for the people who are going to miss out on some great content.
Good night, everyone.